Okay, on to Harue's story. Life can be tough. Throughout the night, Richter continues to gather information about the cursed stones, while Haruo lies awake until dawn, preoccupied by the prospect of bringing her lost child back to life. So I don't know if you guys remember, but Haruo does have collectibles throughout her storyline. I believe we found one in Tetsuo's too. So just playing as Haruo has opened up collectibles. So we're looking for hens. Oh, I forgot what they're called. I keep hencho is stuck in my head right now. Oh, mockingbirds. We're looking for mockingbird stickers. So make sure to keep an eye out. If I miss one, please let me know so I can go back. Okay. Morning, ma'am. How you feeling? I'm fine. I hope we can make good progress today. How's your curse stone looking? I haven't felt anything from it since sunrise. Interesting. It's possible that its powers can only be unleashed at night then. That aside, why are you so late this morning? There are unfortunately some things that can't be investigated while the world slumbers. But I did get some research done in what limited time I had. Very well. Let's talk. By the way, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. And what's that? Our current plan is to steal a curse stone that's already absorbed soul dregs. But I'm wondering if it would suffice to not steal, but instead negotiate with the curse bearer and have them use the right for our purposes. Oh? I mean, I suppose that would accomplish the same, but do you think it's possible? So long as we offer compensation, it may prove much easier than you'd expect. Compensation. Cash, for instance. That wouldn't be off the table for a family as rich as the Shigemas, would it? Of course. Why, any amount would be fine if it'd get the job done. I won't let monetary matters lead me to regrets the way it did back with the ransom. Okay, with that option on the table, let's figure out our strategy. Let's look for some birds before we continue talking, shall we? We'll start low. Nothing. High. Nothing. No birds. About the curse bearers. Do you have a curse bearer with whom we can negotiate in mind? Not yet. Surprisingly, it seems the other curse bearers haven't been that proactive about collecting soul dregs. Did you see the news this morning? No, I haven't. Overnight, 3 mysterious deaths were reported in the area. They've yet to announce the identities of the bodies found, but they've been nicknamed the Honjo serial killings. It's garnered quite some attention on the streets. Oh my. Only 3? That's what I thought. Even if the victims were curse bearers, just 1 or 2 wouldn't be enough soul dregs. And for what those curse stones are capable of, a mere 3 victims seems a little on the low side. With this little activity all through the night, the curse bearers must be a cautious bunch. What's holding them back? Are we not all after the power of resurrection? They might be a little cautious because they don't just want to kill innocents, Haruhi. There may still be some undiscovered victims, but it doesn't seem like anyone has gathered enough soul dregs yet. We might have to set up some bait to spur them into action. And then we offer them the deal. Haruhi, what do you think about this? We may be surrounded by curses and death, but it matters little. My only concern is whether I can see my child again. None of the curse bearers seem very proactive. I wonder if the situation could be what the mastermind who kicked it off intended. Now that's an interesting theory. You think there's someone behind this all? You mentioned hearing an agonized voice telling you to kill when you first obtained the curse stone. That doesn't sound like a coincidence to me. Someone agitated the curses in this area on purpose, and they're likely after the rite of resurrection as well. So you're thinking this person is not one of the curse bearers? You've got a sharp mind, ma'am. Though, it might seem obvious for the mastermind to become a curse bearer and collect soul dregs if they were after the rite. This would be very risky, since as a curse bearer, they themselves would become a target. So, it'd actually be more convenient for them if the curse bearers moved less aggressively. That's right. But despite that, they've been inciting the curse bearers to commit murder. Why? Let's consider this. What if the mastermind isn't trying to collect soul dregs themselves? You mean their intention was also to steal the souls, while the other curse bearers compete with each other from the start? Sitting back and observing from the sidelines is the safer course of action. Which is why I figured it best for us to attempt the same strategy. So, how should we do it? There's still reason to suspect the mastermind could be a curse bearer themselves. To be honest, I want to keep my distance from whoever it is. There's no telling what kind of power they might possess. Whether our aim is to negotiate or steal, we'll have to outpace the mastermind in making contact with the other curse bearers. How do you suppose we do so? At this point, all we can do is search. If there's a mastermind inciting the curse bearers to collect soul dregs, can we be sure there's even a rite of resurrection? Good question. The rite could be nothing but a myth, fabricated to spur the curse bearers into action. Seeing it might be for naught. Do you want to give up, ma'am? Never. Understood. After all, we'll never know the truth unless we see it for ourselves. But we'll do it without using the curses ourselves. Of course. We're not murderers out here. Right, Haruhi? Right? By the way, I met a few people who seemed like potential curse bearers last night. Did some investigating into all of them. But I only managed to get detailed information on 2. You're quick. I suppose that's to be expected from an Investigator Extraordinaire. I appreciate the flattery. First, there is Ayame Tono, the girl we talked to before, though she isn't a curse bearer herself, or so she says. I still think that she's stolen one. If not then surely by now she's stolen one. But yeah, she's the girl that was on the bridge. She was the one who was in cahoots with Namagaki. She's a student attending T University of Art. She currently lives alone in an apartment near Midoricho Park. She's also the fanatic. You even determined her address? You're not one to be underestimated, Mr. Investigator Extraordinaire. I called every single university with ukiyo-e in the curriculum, pretending to be her parent. I went around to check on her place on the way here. Doesn't seem like she returned home last night. I'm worried she might have run into some trouble. Didn't you attempt to follow her last night? I'm embarrassed to say, but I couldn't. She shook me. Couldn't keep track of her. Here, I thought you were an investigator extraordinaire. Are you just gonna keep saying the full title like that? I'd like to learn more about her, but it would take some time. She's planning to steal the curse stones, just like us. It's best we act carefully around her. Oh, she's definitely gonna make another appearance. Next is a tall man who's dressed in black. I met him near Kinshicho. He stood out the way he dressed. I managed to get some good information from him. Impressive. What can I say? He works as the secretary to Hihaku Soap's chairwoman. I believe his name is Takumi Yumioka. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters and factories are both located in Honjo, correct? Yes, they've been here for a while, but it's only in the past 10 years that the company has shown significant growth. I remember seeing the chairwoman on the news a few years back. She seems to be very shrewd. With the increase in sales, I assumed she'd want her factories running at full capacity. But with the harsh restrictions against industrial waste, a lot of the factories with older equipment had to be shut down. That's right. Even 10 years ago, there were many complaints about chemical plants dumping waste into the river. Most companies back then were more concerned with making a profit than protecting the environment. Some would say companies are still like that. I wonder what a man working for such a company would have been up to in the middle of the night. On the way here, I stopped by the company's headquarters, but they hadn't started for the day. Should have better luck later. Let's hope you will. Perhaps they're interested in seeing if the right would be beneficial for their product research into beauty and skincare. Ha! Now that's an interesting thought. I ran into one more suspicious young man last night. This one seemed to be out collecting soul drakes, right? Jonuichi. Indeed. I couldn't get a good look at him though, and I couldn't gather enough intel to properly identify him. Well, that's a shame. But I can make an educated guess. Oh. You know that researcher who discovered the ancient text on the rite of resurrection? The one that lives near here. His name is Hideki Araishi, and the man I met was very similar in stature. Oh my. Even he's involved? How awfully suspect. Oh, okay, not Jonuichi. Considering his background, couldn't he be the one who initiated the whole affair? I think it's possible, yes. Which is why I decided to refrain from making contact with him for the time being. Safety first. Understandable. Of course, I want to learn more, but this isn't the right time to focus on him. I I prefer to ascertain who else is a curse bearer. First, I'll return to Hihaku Soaps to see that man in black. Their headquarters are down in South Watagesui Street. Oh, I learned something new about the criminal involved with the kidnapping. It concerns the serial killings. There was a body found at Komagata High School. Right, Jonouchi died. The person was identified as a school teacher. His name was Kohei Jonouchi. Do you think he was a curse bearer? Not sure. It's possible. But regardless, this means the two people who knew the truth about the kidnapping are both dead. Just when we were getting somewhere. It isn't enough to make me give up, of course. Still, we don't know anything about Michio Shiraishi's residence. It'd be wise to pay a visit. Understood. In addition to the 3 victims associated with the Honjo serial killings, there's Michio Shiraishi, who reportedly committed suicide, and the police officer, who died at the former Yasuda Gardens. If strange deaths continue occurring so like this, they're bound to inspire strange rumors. But those last 2 have nothing to do with the 7 mysteries, no? It's true. Both occurred a week before this accursed situation began. Still, it cannot be ruled out. It's possible that the mastermind was involved even with those killings. How? What if there were preliminary steps to awakening the 7 mysteries as curses? Can we really assume they're unrelated just because the timing doesn't match up? Or rather, the police officer's death is so baffling that it'd be easier if it were connected to these curses. The victim wasn't the type to be caught off guard easily. You seem to know a lot about this. I suppose we weren't strangers. My personal feelings might be wrapped up in this one too. I see. If you were to investigate this matter more, you might get a lead on the mastermind. You're right. If we wish to focus on the mastermind's identity, this would be a fine starting point. We might even discover more deaths related to the curses on the way. We should pay attention to today's news. Well, that's all I have to report. Shall we continue with our investigation? What do you want to do? If you still can't use the curse stone, taking a walk should be a fine place to start. Right. Let's go together. I want to see what's going on for myself. In that case, I'll trust you to decide on where we should go, ma'am. Okay. Let's investigate first. Yeah, let's investigate the mansion. Let's think. Where should I go to begin my search? Which places have stood out to me most so far? The town is beginning to wake up once more. The clamor of society can be heard from beyond the garden gates. Like anything, the cloud of pollution drifts out from the industrial area. Alright, where do we want to move? We've got Midoricho Park, where the killing of the officer happened. South Watagetsu Street, where Hihaku Soap's HQ is. And Komagata High School. I did like the idea of going back to the police officer's death. Or sorry, the police officer's crime scene. So don't think I'm gonna go there. Plus, if we're gonna walk anywhere, isn't a park real nice? We're here. This is Midoricho Park. Ayame Tono lives around here. She wasn't in her apartment when I dropped by this morning. I wonder if it's worth checking out again. Oh, wait a second. Is this the wrong park? Wait. Wait, did the cop die at Midoricho Park, or did he die in former Yasuda Gardens, which we don't have access to? Wait. Let's look around first and see if we can find stickers. Nope, that's as far as I can go. Okay, let's investigate. This place is connected with the story of the Taiko Tsukuru. Not only that, Katsushika Hokusai's home was also in this area. That might be why Ayame chose to live here. Alright, feel free to pause if you'd like to read the history on Midoricho Park. Let's think. It seems picking up Ayame's trail is out of the question for now. Why did we even come here? Sorry, I thought this is where the cop died. Let's just... Hopefully we can go back here. That was my bad. My bad. Let's go to Komagata. School should be closed right now, though. But maybe there's some cops we can talk to. Or, well, there's some cops that Richter can talk to, rather. Here we are, Ground Zero. Komagata High School. I guess it's logical that the police has got this place shut down. The teacher's body was found here, after all. It's as if the students have nowhere to go now that school's closed. Richter, can you talk to anyone? Let's look around. This place is said to be connected with the story of the Fool's Procession. I wouldn't be surprised if Curse Bearer decided to turn up. However, I need to find out if that teacher was a curse bearer or not. I expect the police to be baffled, since they don't know about the curses. I can ask around and see what the students have to say. Yes, inquire. Alright. I'll go ask the students about Michio. While you're there, can I look around? Oh, that was quick. I'm back, ma'am. So... what did you learn? That school kids sure love a good rumor. I was practically drowning in stories about Mr. Jonouchi and Michio, most of which seemed dubious at best. Not surprising. Most of what I heard was hardly worth a second thought, but there was one story that caught my attention. Some believe that Michio is the one who killed Mr. Jonouchi. Really? The story's got two pieces of evidence to back it up. One of them wasn't news to me. Apparently he's been mumbling that Michio is going to kill him for some days now. A fellow teacher overheard his mumbling and told the students. Then it spread like wildfire, I suppose. Rumors that juicy don't stay secret for long. As for the other piece of evidence, a pig-tailed girl in her school uniform was seen around the school late last night. Go on. Although the numerous people claim to have seen the girl, not one of them saw her face. Some are proposing it was Michio brought back to life, or that it was her vengeful spirit. It's not like Michio's the only high school girl to wear pigtails. This rumor might have been made up just to fan the flames. But if it were true, I'd want to get a hold of her in order to hear her side of the kidnapping. If she's alive, that'd be ideal. There's still one more thing I should mention. I discovered where Michio lived. A student had a list of student addresses on hand. That's an amazing find. I believe all of the students actually have a copy of said list. It truly worries me how easy it was to obtain what should be confidential information. Imagine what would happen if that information got into the wrong hands. Well, so far it hasn't, you know? Sure. Let's hope it stays that way. In the meantime, it's now possible for us to visit Michio Shiraishi's house. Let's investigate a bit. Seems the officers are still inspecting the scene. Entry has been strictly prohibited. Oh. Sorry. The news has attracted a bunch of curious onlookers, though. That works in our favor. The more people around, the better we can blend in. He appears to be wary of those police officers. Maybe the police really do have something against private investigators, just like in those detective novels. Why would you look over his shoulder like that? That's so sus. Alright. What do we think? Michio's home. I'd expect her family might be able to tell us more, but it's a hard topic to bring up so soon after her suicide. However, it's normal for a high school girl to keep things hidden from her parents, especially if it involves criminal activity. Let's move. Okay, yeah, let's go to her house. Ooh. This is quiet. How did it go? Oh, he went in on... Okay. He went in already. He just went in already without us. Okay. I went to visit Michio Shiraishi's family home. However, no one seemed to be there. I got no answer at the door, and all the lights were out. Seems to have been empty for a while now. There was a stack of newspapers out front. Huh. I wonder if she lived by herself. Let's think. I don't understand why no one's come to this house, even after Michio committed suicide. I wonder if this place is okay. I wonder if we can break in. It's a bit quieter over here. It is a residential area after all. All these run-down row houses really scream working class, don't they? I've never liked these messy, cluttered back streets. They give me the jitters every time. It's reassuring to have someone as strong and tall as Richter accompanying me. He looks so unfazed. I suppose a detective is used to this kind of thing anyway. Always investigating and chasing criminals. I wouldn't be cut out for it. I can't look around very much. Bit claustrophobic, don't you see? Okay, let's talk. Social connections run deep in working class areas like this place, so I decided to talk to the locals. Oh, he's done everything already, hasn't he? I met a few nice old ladies who were kind enough to give me the scoop. Turns out, the Shiraishi's reputation really went down the dumps this past year. Is that so? I'll give you the quick summary. They moved here about 3 years ago. Their previous residence was in a better part of town. Michio's father died in a car accident, leaving behind just the two of them. Michio's mom, Toshiko, now a single mother, relocated here. At first, they got along with their neighbors, many of which were in similar situations, helping and being helped in return. So far, so good. What happened? Well, as I said, their reputation began to go downhill about a year ago. A man recognized as Toshiko's common-law husband had moved into the household. His name was apparently Kankichiro Iwai. Neighborhood gossip is something else. Somehow, everyone knew his name. So, what of this Iwai character? He was apparently a vulgar fellow with a criminal record. He was prone to violent outbursts. The neighbors often heard screams and shouting coming from the home. The neighbors took particular notice of Toshiko's screams, pleading with him to not hit Michio. That's terrible. As if that wasn't unsettling enough. Every night, the neighbors also began to hear an eerie chanting. Through this, the Shiraishi's standing in the neighborhood plummeted rapidly. Toshiko was often seen covered in bruises and wounds. She stopped responding to her neighbors. She just turned the other way when greeted. They kept their storm shutters closed even during the day, and effectively shut themselves away from the entire community. Oh no. That sounds horrible. Why didn't the police step in and do something? Unfortunately, under our current laws, the police aren't allowed to get involved with domestic disputes. That's awful. And then Michio reportedly killed herself. Things only got worse with Iwai, and Toshiko was admitted to the hospital for physical and mental abuse. Ever since, Iwai hasn't returned to the home. Many locals expressed sympathy for Michio's circumstances, but just as many were fed up with the Shiraishis entirely, and many seemed relieved that things finally quieted down again. It seems that they were still considered outsiders, even after 3 years of living here. I don't understand it. Why would Toshiko have gotten involved with such a brutish good-for-nothing in the first place? I've heard many stories where one partner's personality does a complete turn after entering a relationship. After her first husband's death, Toshiko's financial situation had also taken a turn for the worse. She was determined to send her daughter to a good high school. It's possible she fell victim to sweet promises. Life can be tough, I suppose. You don't seem moved by the story name. That's fine. People have all kinds of stories. Kankichiro Iwai. Male, unemployed. The common-law husband of Michio Shiraishi's mother, Toshiko Shiraishi. Kankichiro started coming and going from the Shiraishi household a little over a year ago. It seems he's served some time in prison, but the details are unknown. For now. But the Shiraishis certainly hadn't lucked out with theirs, bringing such a violent man into it. What do we think? The Shiraishis were dealt a tough hand. I can't imagine what it was like. Could it be the girl was forced by her circumstances to take part in the kidnapping? We'll never know now. Alright, I guess that's all there is here, huh? let's move on then. To South Wadagesu Street. The Hihaku Soap's headquarters are on the other side of South Wadagesu Street. They were closed when I visited this morning, but it appears things are up and running now. So, an influential person at Hihaku Soaps is potentially a curse bearer. Richter proposed we use the money to negotiate for the curse stones. But we could hardly outbid a large corporation if it came down to it. First, we need to confirm whether Takumi is the man I ran into last night. Then I'll be able to determine if he's a curse bearer. It'll be better if I go inside the headquarters alone. You should walk around. Visit a cafe for some tea, perhaps. Oh, okay. Okay, get rid of me, why don't you? He tells me he barely slept last night, and yet he seems to be brimming with energy. Was I too that resilient at his age? Perhaps it's what sets us apart. Perhaps it's what sets apart a detective in the West. To think, a small soap-making company could grow so much in such a short time. They have factories and warehouses throughout the area now. You can see why a director and now chairwoman, Natsuo Yamamori, is called the Queen. Hihaku Soaps. Feel free to pause here at any time to read if you want to. Natsuo Yamamori, female, company chairwoman. Natsuo is the former president of Hihaku Soaps, a large chemicals company. Though she retired from her position 2 years ago, she still wields great influence over the company from her position of chairwoman. Recently, there have been rumors about her possessing strange and powerful magical abilities, earning her the nickname, the Witch of Hihaku. Prior to the war, Natsuo enjoyed working her dream job at a textile factory. She was forced to face the bitter reality of the world, however, when the factory was destroyed by a fire during the war, and she was ordered to rework the fabrics she had painstakingly crafted into something more suitable for blue-collar work. Witnessing the rise in popularity of Western-style clothing in the post-war period, Natsuo left the textile industry. However, a nod to her past can be seen in her company's name, with Hihaku being another name for kasuri, a type of fabric featuring patterns and images woven with dyed fibers. Having long been dissatisfied with the soap supplied at the textile factory, Natsuo saw a business opportunity and set up her own small soap factory. Taking inspiration from imported soap brands, she developed new products which quickly gained a good reputation. Ever the shrewd businesswoman, Natsuo ran an aggressive promotional campaign on TV featuring a popular Japanese singer, rapidly turning Hihaku Soaps into a household name. That's exactly what you need to be popular. You need a damn good jingle. You mentioned that Takumi works as her secretary. That's correct. Do you think it's possible he's acting on her orders? That's exactly my thinking. A curse bearer with both money and power could certainly look at resurrection as their next prize. Negotiating with a person of that stature may prove difficult. Okay. I'm going in. I may be a while, so feel free to find somewhere to kill time. Okay. Good luck in there. Bye. Hi. Sorry to keep you waiting. How did it go? I'll fast forward to the conclusion. I met with Takumi. Well, that's not much of a conclusion, isn't it? There's no doubt. He's the same man I saw last night. But it doesn't seem like he's a curse bearer. But that doesn't mean he has no connections to the recent curses. He knew about the 7 mysteries. He even guessed we had a curse stone of our own. Excuse me? I tried to approach Takumi about a fallen item after I ran into him last night. However, you said your name was Richter, correct? I have a favor I'd like to ask of you. I'm hoping you would hand over the curse stone in your position. Curse stone? What are you on about? There's no need to play dumb with me. In fact, there's no time for it. I had all the same reason you did to think you were a curse bearer last night. And your arrival here only confirms it. You're a curse bearer, no? You're right. We lack time. I'll confess, I am a curse bearer. I possess the curse stone of the Haunted Clappers. What? You're just gonna give that information out? I'm glad to hear the truth. Finally, this conversation is worthwhile. It is a dangerous item you hold. Give it to me. My company will take the responsibility to dispose of it. I didn't know the soap business specialized in scrubbing curses clean. That's exactly what I was saying! They make soaps to clean the blood of their enemies! It is the prerogative of Miss Yamamori. That's so. Assuming you've obtained the curse, you understand the power it involves, no? Miss Yamamori possesses supernatural powers akin to those of a god. She also has a deep love for this land, having transformed it from the pile of dirt it once was to the home of our headquarters. She cannot stomach the fact that it's now the site of these curses run rampant. How did she know that the curses would become a thing, even? Because someone incited the rite of resurrection, right? Someone, like, angered the curse echoes to be. I mean, I guess if she's quote-unquote psychic, then she'll sense the bad energy. But still, like, she just called this man up to be like, hey, something sus is going down in Honjo. Go over there and get me some curse stones. And he's not even gonna question it. He's not gonna be like, sorry, Miss Chairwoman. What's a curse stone and why do I have to go down to Honjo right now when I could be sleeping in bed? So you're telling me the Queen of Hihaku is a real life witch? She wouldn't appreciate being called that, mind you. There's a sorcerer by the name of Suigen Gamyodo who's gallantly working behind the scenes, exorcising spirits and the like. Go on. That being so, there have already been instances of the dead coming back to life. Do you understand the urgency of this matter? These curses we're speaking of, tools which are used by wicked beings to possess people. The rite of resurrection is nothing but a fabrication meant to seduce the curse bearers into unspeakable action. If you truly understand what I'm talking about, you must hand over the curse stone at once. Very interesting. With that said, just how many curse stones have you acquired so far? If what you tell me is true, surely the company would have launched a large-scale search by now. We have 6. 6? Whoa, I can rest easy with that then. And here I thought I was at risk of being cursed. It seems we're on the same page. If that is the case, you should hand over your curse stone immediately. I'm sorry to disappoint you, but it's not actually in my possession at the moment. Considering its importance, I've been keeping it in hiding. Really now. Then I'll accompany you while you retrieve it. I'm sorry, but I've got something important to attend to. But I promise I'll return with it later. Very well. Oh, he's gonna be stalking our ass. Then you won't refuse to provide your address and telephone number, I presume. How prudent of you. I'll oblige. Not like he's gonna be going home anytime soon. He could just stay with Haruhi. And that's how it went. So they are not further right after me. I wouldn't be so quick to trust him. I believe we're dealing with a master in deception. He may well have made up a story to convince us to part ways with our stone. I think he was lying about having procured 6 curse stones as well. Like, really? 6? That's excessive. Well, now I feel gullible. The company's plotting something. I wonder what they mean to do with curse stones. He seemed rather desperate to get a hold of ours, despite us not having collected any soul drugs. Perhaps the people at Hihaku are the masterminds behind the curses being unleashed. Because the chairwoman's a witch? I wonder about that, too. If she really were that powerful, would her secretary have divulged that information so casually? Takumi was either making it up, or he was trying to spread a rumor. For what purpose would he do that? Recently, people have been caught up about the occult more than ever. If word spreads that Hihaku's chairwoman has godlike powers, she could very well benefit socially and politically from that mystique. That's unsettling. By the way, there is one more thing of interest I heard while in the company's reception lobby. And what's that? People were discussing whether one of the bodies found this morning was that of a Hihaku employee. Really? So long as the officials haven't revealed the identity, it all amounts to no more than speculation, though. Oh, they're talking about Shogo. Despite that, I've reason to believe Hihaku Soaps is deeply involved with the 7 mysteries. At the very least, I can assure you I've gathered that much. The more we know, the better our negotiations will go. How interesting that the Queen of Hihaku, or the witch, or whatever she is trying to get her hands on the rite of resurrection. It's like some kind of dark fairy tale. Regardless of what is or isn't true, we must stay one step ahead. She did look quite old. Do you think she's dying, maybe? The chairwoman? We should avoid Hihaku for the time being. It'll be a pain if I have to deal with Takumi again. Aye aye. I feel like you're the captain hero, Richter, instead of me. Back in the Edo period, the canal known as South Watagesui ran through this area, but it's been turned into a major road. It's a bit away from Kinshicho Station or Ryogoku Station, though it's still considered a nice area. The stories of the ever-burning lantern and the foot-washing mansion both took place around here. One of the bodies discovered this morning was found by this road as well. This is suppose you could call it somewhat of a city center. Let's move on then, shall we? I guess to see Ayame. Okay, we read this part. Let's talk to him. We won't get much standing around here. Why don't I go and check out Ayame's apartment? You don't mean to speak to her, do you? No, I'd prefer to get an idea of what she's been up to. I'd like to see whether she's been home or not, just to potentially get a trace on her movements. Then, be my guest. Okay, shouldn't be long. I'm back, ma'am. So, nothing? I'm afraid so. She still hasn't returned. However, I noticed a few people who seem to be related to the police force, keeping watch in the area. I don't know if they've got eyes on her apartment, but they do appear to be watching the building it's in. Interesting. You've got a sharp eye to have noticed them despite being so covert. What can I say? It's part of the job. However, it meant I had to refrain from knocking on her door or looking through her windows. I wasn't able to check her electric meter or mailbox either, unfortunately. You were planning to go that far? Man's gotta do what man's gotta do. We won't make much progress sticking around here. What do we think? What a waste of time. We should move on quickly. Well, where else can we go? We just came back from Southwood, I guess we... Should we go back to the school? Do you think it's less populated? This is Komagata High School. I guess there haven't been any developments. Okay, nothing. I guess we're just gonna keep going in a circle. Huh? Where's Richter? I doubt anyone's still living here. Hmm? Oh, so you came here too? Hmm? What is it? Or rather, who? Tetsuo and Jun! Could you repeat what you know one more time for me, Richter? And the timelines converge!